So here we are, another Thursday night. Is there anybody here for the first time that's never been here before? If you could unmute and just let us know you're here.
I'm here.
Who's that? Lynn?
Lenny.
Linny?
Yeah,
Hi, Linny. Don't we have another Linny, don't we?
I'm a campfire girl.
Oh, hi,
I'm Eddie.
Linny.
Hi.
Hi, I recognize you. I was like, oh yeah, I know who you are.
I finally made it.
Yay! I'm glad. I met Linny in Missouri at Johnny's Journey meetup.
Yeah, very hot.
It was nice to meet you there.
Yes,
Good.
it was nice.
I'm glad you're here, Linny. And where are you from, Linny?
I am from Missouri, and it's very cold here.
Very cold. Well, I'm glad you're here, Lynn.
Thanks.
From Missouri.
Good. Yeah.
Is there anybody else here for the first time that's never been here before?
I'm here for the first time.
Who's that?
Emily.
Hi, Emily.
I'm in Massachusetts.
You are? Well, welcome.
I'm in Wareham, Massachusetts, south of Boston, and I started the plan 10 days ago.
Yeah.
I've been watching you for a couple of years thinking, I don't think I could ever do that.
Yeah. And
the vegetables are hard.
Yeah. And then one day you said, yeah, maybe I can.
I said, I'm not doing so well. Maybe I should try it.
Good. I'm glad. And
Thank you.
I'm glad you came here because this will really help you. Just being here with us, letting us get to know you, and being a part of the group is going to be extremely helpful for you on this journey.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good. Well, welcome, Emily.
Thank you.
It's not officially my first because I was on last week, but I couldn't talk, so I wanted to introduce
okay.
myself.
Christy? Hi, Christy from Seattle.
Yes, I've been watching you for, I don't know, not very long, 3 weeks maybe, and I have sometimes this song in my head, skip to my Lulu, skip to my Lulu. But I found out I'm pre-diabetic. Sure, I already started doing the plan and some other stuff, but I went to a new naturopath today and I showed him your plan and he's like, I love it.
Good. Well, that's good.
Yeah, I'm excited and I'm in the process of kind of looking for a van, so I might be joining that part too.
Well, how exciting is that?
I'm very exciting.
Good. So you're going to get yourself feeling really good.
Yes.
And it even makes van life even more comfortable and exciting when you just feel good. Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Great, Christy.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're with us.
And I wanted to say hi.
Oh, Mary. Hi, Mary.
Hi. Hi, Lulu. I've seen you down at the Texas beaches and in Missouri.
Yes. Yep. I remember you.
Yep. And I had watched for a while, but mentally wasn't ready to get on. Well, mentally I'm ready, and it's a triple win, I guess, whatever. Mentally I'm ready. I have a contract at my house and will be full-time starting February 10th. And, the cleanup on the dishes and whatever, it's like, Lulu has the right idea. Batch cooking and, not having to cook 3 meals a day or what have you. So it's a triple win.
Yeah, you just assemble meals as you go along.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here, Mary.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Good. And where are you from, Mary?
Texas. Currently.
Is that where you live?
Yep.
Okay, Texas, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Is there anybody else here for the first time that's never been here before?
I am. My name is Terry.
Hi, Terry.
I'm living in Texas. It's my first time. Been following you for a few weeks and really enjoy your YouTube on both ends. It's been a lot of fun. So I saw on the last one, this was posted to be able to get into the Zoom. So I thought, I'm joining.
Good. We're glad you're here, Terry. And
thank you. Nice to be here.
I guess that's it. Well, welcome everybody that's new here. It's good to see all the familiar faces. And hello, Nicole. Hi,
Lulu.
How's my Nicole?
I'm great. Super duper.
Super duper. She's always super duper.
Yep.
Yeah. Good. Very good.
Yeah. So happy Thursday night. Are we ready to get started?
We're ready to get started. Yep. If everybody could mute, that would be terrific.
So hello and welcome to Lulu's Way, Healthy Food, Healthy Life. My name is Nicole and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be your co-host this evening. To help keep our meeting focused and free from distractions, please stay muted unless you're speaking and keep your video turned off if you're doing anything other than sitting and participating. Here in this community, we come together to support, encourage, and inspire one another, celebrating the benefits of good nutrition, weight loss, wellness, and the joy that comes from choosing to serve yourself well. We're not medical or nutrition professionals. We're simply here to share experiences and promote a healthy lifestyle. If you receive any advice or suggestions tonight, especially if you have health challenges, it's always best to check with your healthcare provider first. Individuals in this group may have different ideas on how to eat healthy. Just figure out what works best for you and do it your way. Our meetings rotate through a variety of topics that focus on the needs and interests of our members, including food prep, motivation, meal ideas, travel, socializing, challenges, non-scale victories, maintenance, and general Q&A. We take one topic at a time, explore it fully, then pick up where we left off the following week. We'd love for everyone to participate tonight. To share, please raise your hand using the toolbar icon, and I'll invite each person to share in the order that they appear in the participants section. Please be mindful of the length of your share to allow everyone an opportunity to participate. If there's extra time at the end, please feel free to raise your hand and share again. Our meeting ends promptly at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all for being here, for sharing, and for choosing to make your health and yourself a priority. And with that, tonight's topic is motivation.
Motivation. Oh, let's see. You know, I would say that the biggest motivating factor for me is just peace and freedom. Like, I love being thin and I love feeling healthy. Like, I love feeling really good, and I don't want to give that up. I don't want to give up the cute dresses, you know. But the peace of mind that I have, that I don't have to think about this food issue anymore when it's just all I thought about. It was all consuming for me. And just to have that, a thing of the past, like I don't have to think about when I'm going to start a diet. I should start a diet, but let me just go eat this once, so I'll have this, and all those stories and lies and the crazy. And I just love being free from that. It just feels so damn good, you know? This group is very, very motivating. When I look, I see there's 58 people here. 58 people. Not everybody has their camera on, but there's a lot of people with their camera on. There's just, I'm just looking at everybody and I'm just thinking, like, you know, we're all here for the same reason. We just want better for ourselves. You know, we want that peace and freedom. We want to start healing ourselves from some physical damage that we've done or that we are experiencing, whether it's disease or aches and pains and inflammation and all that. You know, it's just like the food is just killing us, you know? It's killing us. And it's like, you know, it's so motivating when you start feeling better. And if you're just starting and you're only like a few days in and you haven't crossed that bridge yet where it starts to feel so much easier, it starts to be what you want to do, not what you should be doing, but what you actually want to do. And you haven't quite started to feel the benefits of it, but just give it some time. Transition right into that space. It doesn't take long. If you have 100 pounds to lose, you don't have to wait till you've lost 100 to start feeling great. You don't even have to wait until you can lose 10. You'll start to feel really, really good. Just being on it for a week. Just that feeling of having this in order is so motivating. Just to have order with this part of your life that's out of order. It's just out of control, out of order. Like I keep choosing exactly what I shouldn't have because I want it, but when I have it, it makes me feel sick. It makes me makes my joints ache. It makes me gain weight. It makes me, want more. It makes me hate myself. It makes me, feel disappointed in myself. All that stuff. Like you don't even have to go there. You're going to start to feel so good, and it's going to be motivating to think like, now, if I go back to that crazy eating again, I'm going to give up this good feeling that I'm just starting to experience. And I've seen, if you come here and you listen to everybody here, if you're new here, I don't know if you've been listening to all the recordings, but there's a whole playlist on my channel that's called Healthy Food, Healthy Life Zoom meetings. And there's like maybe not quite 100 videos, and they're all these meetings. If you're struggling, I'm going to say go into that playlist and scroll and find your topic, your hot topic for that day, for that moment. Okay, right now I'm thinking about socializing and somebody's asking me to dinner. What am I going to do? Go look in that playlist. There's a few in there that are all about socializing and how to have that, not sabotage what you're doing. If you're wondering about like, oh, I don't know if I can afford this. This food is expensive. Yeah, well, there's a couple of videos on budgeting that Pam facilitated that are just fabulous, with fabulous ideas on eating this way on a budget. So if you stay motivated and you want to look for the solution that's not in the refrigerator, okay? So you've got an issue, look in that playlist, because every topic that you can think of is there, There's ones just called motivation, and everyone talks about motivating. And people, if you're like, what am I going to cook now? Oh God, get on that, in that playlist. There's everybody's sharing about food prep, meal ideas. They're just, the whole meeting is about that. So, and we have the Facebook group that we can all reach out to stay motivated. And, you can just make a post. I'm really struggling right now. I'm just feeling like I want this, but it's hard, and I'm trying to get through it, and I want to stay motivated. Somebody help me. And then you'll probably get, 20 answers, 20 people giving you some talk, and then you just won't feel so alone. You won't feel so alone in all this, and just remember this page full of people, and we're all going to be looking for you next week, even all the newcomers. We remember, and you become part of this group, and we're looking for you, we're cheering for you, and this is a very motivating place to be. So, like I said, if you find yourself in that situation where you just want to cave because you think it's going to be easier, I just don't feel like cooking, so I'm just going to go through a drive-through. Well, something, you go through that drive-through, and then guaranteed you'll regret it, and it would have been worth just going in and getting a salad at a salad bar, and if you didn't feel like cooking, or there's very easy ways to put meals together, and we talk about that in some of the videos too. Just very easy ways to put a meal together if you don't feel like cooking. I think it was last week or the week before, we were talking about salsa, like a jar of salsa. Like if you get a jar of salsa, that's, if you read the label, and it's all it has is a list of all veggies and seasonings and stuff, and no oil or sugar, then that's veggie, right? So if it's a 16-ounce jar, just open the damn lid, put it on the scale, and weigh your oil, put your oil right in it, and have 2 ounces of almonds. And I mean, it's kind of a weird lunch, but it's, what I'm saying is like, you can put that together in 2 minutes. You can put that together in less time than it takes you to go through a drive-through. So like, just pick that. I mean, I wouldn't normally pick that, because I have the time. Those of us that are in a groove, we're in a groove. So when you're in the groove, and if you're not in the groove yet of the whole food prep thing, you have to kind of get used to that, and you have to get used to like how much to make, and you'll feel like, well, all I'm doing is baking sweet potatoes, and oh my God, I'm out again. Well, you need to make more. When you're making them at one point, make more, and then you'll figure out, oh, well, I'm only making 2, maybe let me see what happens if I make 3, and how long it lasts, and then maybe you can have 4, or, and just to get as much food prep as possible so that you can be prepared for success. This group is extremely motivating. When I hear the people that have changed their health, that have really changed their health, and I don't know if you all have been listening to those videos. Go into the playlist and look for the ones that say non-scale victories. That's where you hear everybody talking about diseases going away, aches and pains going away, these people just feeling just happier. Because it's so hard to just feel happy when you're always disappointing yourself. You're always like, you want to start something that you know is good for you, but you don't have the strength to do it, and it's very disappointing. I don't want to be disappointed in myself anymore, because I spent too many years like that, decades, and it just feels so good to just, at night I put my head in the pillow, I ate exactly what I planned. I didn't eat one green bean more than what I have on this plan. I don't want one extra green bean. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want it. I just want nothing to do with it. So I am very motivated to live like this for the rest of my life, because why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? I don't know how they're going to serve me in a nursing home, but they better figure it out. Either that or I won't be in one. I always say, I'm not out for quantity, I'm out for quality. I don't know, I don't have much control over the quantity of my life, but I think I have some control over the quality of my life. And I just want the quality of my life. I want to feel good as long as I can. I want quality of life. That's what I want. And this is what I have to do to have that. I just know I have to do this. So I continue to stay motivated, and you all help me stay motivated. We all just help each other, which is really cool. I love it. What about you, Nicole?
Well, I could just say what she said, because every single thing you said just really resonates with me. Yep. When I think about really, truly what motivates me, it's that I don't struggle anymore. Yeah. I don't struggle at all anymore with this food. And my health, my life, my health has never been better than it has right now. And I can actually say that for every single month that I've been on this plan, which is 26 months. So I could have said that at the end of the first month, maybe I did. And every single month since then, that my life and my health has never been better. And it just keeps getting better. And that motivates me to never want to turn around and do the old things. The emotional peace, the energy, the capacity for an authentic life and authentic relationships, not just muddling through and trying to burst through a food, cloud to function, which is all the old ways, before this plan. So just the fact that I just don't struggle and that I can have my authentic life is all the motivation that I need. And I would say that I'm so grateful that you showed the example, because just knowing one person had started to take care of themselves and never stopped, it was so powerful, because I wasted a lot of time stopping and starting, all kinds of plans my whole life. And so just to realize I could put an end to that, and there was an example, and that was really motivating. And it's what keeps me motivated to do it 100%. I don't want to lose one tiny bit of quality that I have doing it 100%. I don't want to have thoughts of bargaining and all of that to start up again. That was such a huge part of my life that I'm glad is behind me. And the other thing that's motivating is the simplicity and the health of this solution. When I was in my 40s, and my doctor offered me that fen drug, And I was really afraid of drugs. And I'm like, oh, no, I don't want that. And she said, at the time that nobody she had offered it to had said no. And I'm like, well, I'm really afraid of drugs. And so I'm going to, and she said, it's really a risk to be overweight like this. And I'm like, okay, I know, so but I was too afraid to take the drug. And I'm so glad, because a lot of people suffered super bad consequences and death from fen-phen. And then it wasn't much longer after that my doctor suggested like a bariatric stomach type surgery. And I'm like, no, because I'm afraid of surgery. I didn't want to risk my life that way. And now I see like, I've seen Oprah doing some talks about Ozempic and the disease of obesity and what a solution that is. And I just am like, wow, here is a solution. This food plan is a solution that quiets the mind, that does all the things that I hear, Ozempic is doing, but that's a drug that you're taking. And I just am so thankful that this is a food plan, healthy, like you said, Lulu. It's really hard to criticize this food plan. It's so healthy and robust and normal, but like this is a solution that isn't any kind of medical intervention. It doesn't involve drugs, doesn't involve surgery, doesn't involve, things that they're going to still be researching for years to come, so it's just such a gift. And I guess that's just what motivates me is knowing that this is the best possible healthy thing that could have fell into my lap. And it prompted not just losing weight, but like gaining my emotional peace and my ability to relate and live my life without this food cloud. So those are my top ones.
Good for you, Nicole. Yeah, it's just like I said, just that peace and freedom. You don't know it until you feel it and you experience it. And anybody here that's on this plan and have been doing it for a while, I know you're experiencing the same thing, because you just do. You just do. Just like the light gets brighter, and it just keeps getting brighter.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, yeah, well, let's get started we've got some raised hands. Yep. So let's start with Carolyn.
Hi, Carolyn.
Hello. I've watched Lulu for years, and like when I first saw the plan, I was like, oh, I can't do that. It's just like Nicole said, and like Lulu said, I could say what she said, the peace of mind. I've only been on the plan since the 1st of January. Yeah. And I'm so amazed. I spent like everybody else, all different plans, but just recently I spent $3,000 with a doctor, and I'm like, and months after months, I'm not getting any better. I was taking the drugs, I was losing weight, but yet I'd lose it, gain it. And I finally had to tell my doctor, I was like, you're not helping me, and when I saw your plan and how easy it was, I was like, ta-da! It just, and it's so funny because I've got Lulu in my head that says, I don't need a strawberry.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm just so amazed about how simple it is, Well, it's challenging at first to try to figure out all that,
Yep.
Plan and everything, but I'm determined, I mean, I haven't had a thought about, I want that cookie, or like you all said, I just, the mess isn't there anymore. Yeah. I know I'm going to eat it this time. I know I'm going to eat this, and and when I'm done, I'm ready to, when I go to bed, I'm not looking through the cabinets. It's like, what can I find? My body is satisfied. My digestion works better. I'm so amazed at just even this short time about how much better I feel. Like you said about the freedom, and my roommate, I sat down and my roommate was like, that's a lot of food. And I was like, yeah, but it's healthy food. And I've been an emotional eater and I've never been hungry. I'm starting to find out what it feels like to be hungry. Because when it comes time, it's like, time to eat, Yeah. So my body's starting to get back in sync and it feels so good.
Yeah.
And I love everybody else, the motivating, this group, how you can look on there's so much information
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, it makes you wonder why everybody's not doing it.
Yeah.
So that's just my 2 cents.
Well, look at that, Carolyn. You're the perfect example of somebody that's been doing it a short time. What's the date today? The 16th?
It is. It feels like forever.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, and you started on the 1st and you're already feeling that freedom, and you're already saying like, well, it was a little confusing at first. Yeah, you know, you just keep that food plan. You print that food plan out, and you have it right there on the counter. Yeah, and then you're always referring to it, and then you don't have to refer to it anymore. One day you just know it all by heart, you know.
And I haven't weighed myself yet either. It's like I'm waiting for the month end.
Wait for the one. Yep. Wait for the 1st of the month.
Don't worry about
Yep.
it.
Don't even think about that, because that's a measure. That's a way to measure something that it's not. You don't need to measure that right now, because
so
it's
I'm
not
glad
about
to be
because it's like if you're following it 100%, it's working. You don't have to check to see if it's working. You know.
right.
Yep. And you'll see on the 1st, and we'll all be here to hear your news on the 1st. Yeah. Good. Is the food prep getting easier for you? The meal prep is getting easier as time goes on?
Well, the first thing I went and bought a thing of beans, because, you know, that's for the protein, right? And then I bought rice, and I kind of knew that I could plan that out. And, you know, because I'm still working a 40-hour, well, I'm actually working 2 jobs. So I knew I could freeze all that, and I could, you know, get the vegetable. I found vegetables that I can buy that are frozen.
Yep.
So that's a little easier. So yes, it's getting easier.
Yep. Yeah. I know many people that they just do frozen veggies. They don't want to be slicing and dicing and steaming and sauteing, and they don't want to do that. And frozen vegetables are fine. You know, in fact, there's you know, people that say that they're more healthy, that they have more nutrients in them, because they're harvested and then they're quickly blanched and frozen. Where, you know, that same broccoli that's happened to, some broccoli that's been on a truck going across the country, and then in this storage room, and then in this storage room, and then it finally gets on the shelf, and, you know, it's still healthy. It's lost something, but there's something to be said for the frozen too, you know. So it's not like if you're having frozen vegetables that you're not eating healthy, you know.
I was surprised that in the vegetables in the grocery store to find sugar was in them, you know.
In some of the frozen ones, yeah, you got to look at your labels.
I sure do. And I've been off of sugar since the 1st, and that's never ever happened. I didn't think that would ever happen.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness, it's like I don't want a cookie, I don't want a candy bar.
No.
You know, I'm feeling about how good I feel.
Yeah.
So
and you just keep checking those labels, and as long as you're checking those labels, and there's no sugar in any of the things that you know, whether it's the mustard or the jar of salsa, or it's, you know, anything, you know, that even your vinegars, just like check your labels for everything, even a can of tuna fish, just check it all, you know. Then that's just going to keep you not wanting a cookie. If you just...
Well, you said something else too. You talked about the slow drip of sugar.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the advertisements keeping us coming, like a drug, keeping us coming back and coming back, you know. And if you cut it off, then they can't get you anymore.
Yeah. And people just think it's so unrealistic to live sugar free, but I mean, sugar isn't even a nutrient, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, every morning I get my sugar fix. I have a nice juicy fresh piece of fruit, and it's nice and sweet and delicious. I don't need that refined sugar. It's killing everybody. Everybody's with the diabetes and the inflammation and everything. Yeah, it's like, this is like the best thing. I'm so glad you're here, Carolyn.
Thank you, Lulu.
Very motivating. Somebody that's speaking like this 15 days into it. Love it. Love it.
Yep, just awesome to hear, Carolyn.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, next we have Nancy.
Hi, Nancy.
Hello, Lulu, and everyone else. Nice to be back here again.
Good to see you.
I've been really wanting to share this, actually. I did a little math recently, and I thought I've got to share this with the group. The first time I did this plan was in the summer of 2024, and I followed it perfectly. I had excellent weight loss, felt great, did it for 2 months perfectly. then, life happens, slips happen. The boredom excuse happened. I've come to realize that that's probably one of my biggest lies that I tell myself, that I need to kind of beat that before it beats me, kind of thing. So that's my excuse. I'm bored. I need something else. So, but that's not what this is about. So I eventually kind of started to slip. So that was like October of 2024. So here we are now. I'm back on it as of January 1st. So a couple huge lessons. One was, like Lulu has said this many times, when you slip, when you take that little break, you just don't know how long it's going to be. I've been there with smoking. I've been there with other things. I don't do any of the other things anymore, but I know how long it takes when you have a slip. You don't know when you're coming back. But last year, 2025, I started and stopped and started and stopped. I didn't start this plan. I just started a plan. I spent an entire year doing Mondays, I'll start on Monday. So of course, December 31st comes. I've been like psyching myself up for the big restart. I go into my app to check my, my starting weight last year. And I've got two crazy numbers. From the first of the year to the end of the year last year, I am up 8.2 pounds. But here's the sad thing. I lost 53. Has anyone ever done math like that? Do you know what I mean? Every single time I got back on the wagon, I logged my weight in like my Fitness Pal, I think it was. So, the other thing is, okay, so on Lulu's plan, I should have weighed myself 12 times, right? Had I done this plan, I would have had 12 weights. That's it. You know how many weights I had logged in my little app from not doing the plan? 49. So I weighed myself and logged it 49 times. That's 49 like punches in the face, and 49 restarts. And every time I would start, I would lose a bit and then fall off the wagon. Start over, lose a bit, fall off the wagon. So that's why there were so many entries in my little weight loss thing. But I actually added up every loss. Do you know what I mean? Like I added every single loss, which is crazy math. It took a little while to do because there were 49 entries. But I actually lost a total of 53 pounds. That means I'd be done. Do you know what I mean? Like, holy painful lesson. Like I don't know, that just blew my mind. Every time I start a plan of some sort,
You get
a lot of times, if I look back, I would say that one of my main reasons for falling off any plan is I say, well, I'm kind of bored. I'm eating the same thing all the time. And I'm done pretending to be bored, or at least telling myself that being bored is a good reason to go off the plan.
Yeah. Well, no, if you're bored with your food, then you need to revisit the food plan and think about the endless options of other foods that you can have.
Yeah.
Because there's a bazillion veggies to pick from. There's like a whole pile of grains to pick from. It just doesn't always have to be potatoes and rice, There's all kinds of interesting grains out there to experiment with, right?
Yeah.
And the same with proteins, There's like fish, but there's also like, 25 different fish that you can pick from. All different kinds of fillets and shellfishes and all, you know what I mean? Like there's so many choices. Like even beans, like do you get chickpeas all the time? And chickpeas, well, what about black beans? What about navy beans? What about butter beans? What about edamame? What about, there's tons of different beans. Maybe if you just kind of thought of it going that route when you feel bored.
If I'm honest, it had nothing to do with the food. It was me recognizing that I'm using boredom as an excuse to go off. It has nothing to do with
it doesn't
really being bored. I think that I have a history of pretending to be bored as an
Oh,
excuse
I
to, well, for today, I'm just going to have this thing.
Yeah.
And then that thing, it takes about a year and a half to get back on, a year of torture, up and down, up and down, up and down torture.
If anybody here has ever slipped on this plan and you got it back in a reasonable amount of time, you don't know how lucky you are, because that's not how it usually ends. So I'm just saying, don't play with fire. I don't want to take the chance. For me, this is the only way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, good.
Yeah,
so
I think that's a beautiful share. Thank you for
Yes.
telling us about
Yes.
that, Nancy, because I often think, like, if we're in the mindset, so many of us have the same kind of mindset or have had the same struggles with this for many years. And if you ask yourself, for whatever reason, you're thinking of not following the food plan, it almost seems a surefire bet that that's going to be a lie you're telling yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what is the reason? Well, because I'm going to be, meeting a friend for lunch, or, because I'm bored, or, because, I don't like vegetables, or whatever it is. It's like, if it's not the food plan, it's just really neat to think about it. Then what is it really? And it's probably going to be on the lies I tell myself page that we have out there. So it's just, and gosh, when you were saying you did the math, I was thinking, well, from 18 to 55, that's 37. I can't even imagine how many pounds I've lost and gained and lost and gained, and just, and I'm just so thankful, that is a thing of the past. And that is very motivating. What is the pattern when I jump around, or I give up? The pattern is a lot of lost time and a lot of lost effort. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. Wow. No.
Yeah. Thank you.
So
for sharing
glad you're back. Glad you're back on the bus.
Yay! I am. I'm going to be here every week.
So,
this is the fun crazy bus.
Yeah, it's the fun crazy bus. I'm still crazy.
Well, thank you, Nancy.
Yeah.
Next, we have the other Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Hey, everybody.
Good to see you, honey.
Oh, it's good to see you too. It's been a couple months, man.
Yeah.
I am motivated by this group so much, and I just wanted to pop on here to say that even when I haven't been able to speak up or haven't wanted to speak up for the last couple months, just when I'm able to come, I wasn't able to come Christmas Eve and New Year's, or Christmas Day and New Year's Day, but it just helps. Even if I'm in a struggle place, it helps to hear what other people are saying. I am motivated because I turned 50 this year, and I really would like to get into Wonderland. And I would really like to just feel better. So those are kind of my hopes for the year. And I don't normally do a New Year's resolution, but a friend of mine a number of years ago, I started doing what she does, which is she picks a word for the year. And so last year my word was connection. And I had no idea when I picked that word. I thought it was going to be more external connections. And I had no idea it was going to be a lot of connecting with myself. And a lot of that was through, feeling better and doing this food plan, and how that then fed into all kind of different parts of my life. And so that's also one of my motivations. But I started a new job in November. I have not worked outside of the house for paid work since my second child was born. So it's been almost 20 years, and that has been an adjustment. And I love my job, which is great. I work at a backyard bird shop. It's a perfect thing for me, and I love it. But fitting this in has been, and making it a priority when I am trying to alter my life so drastically has been a challenge. And while I have done very poorly at times, I've always done well with like breakfast and lunch. And so I feel like even though I haven't been on plan 100%, I have been on plan, and that has actually kept me going. And now I'm to the point where I'm like, okay, I've settled into the job. I'm kind of used to the routine now. Now I need to build back in fully on plan because I'm starting to feel more tired at work, and that's just not going to cut it. So anyway, that's where I'm at, and I just wanted to say hi.
Well, I'm glad you're back, Nicole.
The hope is that I just need to stop messing around.
Yeah.
And do what I know feels good. And in some ways, and I don't recommend this, but in some ways, having this kind of setback, I guess you could call it, it is motivating because I feel the difference in what being on plan feels like and the difference in what I feel like now. So I don't recommend it, but it has motivated me.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're back, Nicole. And, just keep yourself prepped. Get that, whatever meals you need to take to work with you. And then know when you get home from work and you're getting in the door, if it's going to be dinner time, then have your dinner all ready for yourself when you get home.
And that's been my struggle is dinner and the crap that people have at work.
Oh, so. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That stuff. I mean, because I worked most of the time. I worked on this food plan, so it was just food is everywhere. Just not an option. I didn't want it to mess with me. Like you said, that night and day, that feeling of night and day and how you feel.
Yes.
When you're following it, it's just like, no. And a lot of the food that it's around is free. And that can trip people up too, because people can't resist free food. But I always say there's no such thing as free food. It might not cost me $1, but it's going to cost me my peace, and it's not free. So I was like, they can have it. They can all have it. So
that's what I did today. I prepped my food for my week because I work over the weekend. So I work the next 4 days.
Well, good.
And the one thing I told them, I was like, I can never work on Thursday.
Oh, yeah? Oh, good.
Because I have to come here.
You want to incorporate this in as a commitment. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm glad you're back, Nicole. And I look forward to hearing from you next week about your first full week on plan and how you're managing it with the job.
But I can do it.
Yep. You can. Yep.
I know how that is too at work. It's like a food bonanza, and it used to really, really impact me. I'd be like, oh, there's a bunch of bagels, I better get some of that and maybe one for later or whatever. Oh, now here comes this or here comes that. I'm so glad you're back too. So next we will go to Sue T.
Hi, Sue.
Hi, Lulu. Hi, everybody. Thank you. It's great to be here as usual. I want to say what I've noticed with being on plan is food tastes fantastic. My taste buds are like, popping like crazy. And because I talk about this and I look at things on the internet, I got this whole thing yesterday from the algorithm fairies out there about how things change in your life or change in your body chemistry when you give up sugar. It's very interesting. And they talked about the taste buds kind of regenerating every so often. And I also really want to say thank you to you, Lulu, for having your box of tomatoes, because I had grape tomatoes and I put them in the refrigerator like I always do. And I went, wait a minute, Lulu puts them in a box in her van. So I put them on the counter and I cut them up like you also suggested and put it in with my food, counting as a vegetable. And they were like candy. It tasted so darn good, and it was the right temperature.
Good.
So I really want to say thank you for that.
Tomatoes do not belong in the fridge, ever.
Right.
Yeah.
But I guess if you cut one open, you have to put it in the refrigerator, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. On the not good side, yesterday I came home from my thrift shop volunteer job, and my partner Larry says, "Are you hungry?" And I went, "Yeah." And he says, "Want to go to the Mexican place?" And I was like, "Oh." And I'm thinking, I could get something there. They have beans and rice. So I said, "Okay, sure." And we ended up at a different place, but it didn't work out at all. And, looking back, I had the food at home and I was ready to prepare it. Looking back, I should have just gone with him and pretended I wanted to get something that he got, and then come home and he'd be satisfied. He got his spare ribs. And I ended up with beans and rice and a chicken with some sort of sauce on it. But, they could have hidden sugar in the sauce. And I had tried one of his spare ribs. And don't you know, and I didn't have I didn't weigh anything. And don't you know, at the end of that lunch, I sat down and I thought, like an alcoholic, wouldn't it be nice to have a cookie? And I had a cookie, and the cookie wanted another cookie. So 2 cookies in, I was like, wow, that took no time at all whatsoever to, split-second decision to go outside of the food plan. And where did it lead me? It led me right to a cookie. So I had it, and then this morning I had my usual good breakfast, and I had very good lunch, and I had a good dinner. And no desire for a cookie. So I think it's interesting that little drip of sugar that might have been on the spare rib could have led to that, I need another quick fix. And as I might have alluded to before, I made cookies and I have them in the refrigerator for a guest who's coming in actually this evening, and he's going to be here for the next 3 days. And we're going to go into the city tomorrow. I have no idea what to do other than I say to myself, I can always get a salad and I can live on salmon and rice. So no matter where we end up in the city, I can get salmon and rice or fish and rice or if something. I can't get 16 ounces or 12 ounces because I'm still not at 16. I'm at 12 ounces. I can't get 12 ounces of veggies, or maybe I could, maybe I could do something crazy and say I'll have, when they have the a la carte broccoli and maybe broccoli rabe, maybe I could do that. So maybe I'm talking myself into that's a possibility. And like what you also said earlier today, you're not going to die of hunger. You might be hungry, but it won't kill you. I could always get like a cup of tea or something like that. So I guess I'm confessing, I guess I'm on day 1 today. And my other thing is I don't really know what to do about tomorrow because I can't see myself hauling in, first of all, I don't have enough vegetables prepared. I can't see myself hauling in a big 1 or 2 meals into the city because I know it's going to be a long ass day, as you might say. Yeah. That's really it.
Well, I know what I would do. I would take the meals into the city. That's what I would do. Or I would know exactly where I was going and not say, oh, I'll probably be able to get a piece of fish and I probably would be able to get 12 ounces of veggies. I would have the restaurants picked out. I will be online looking at their menus. And if I had any questions about anything, like if I saw salmon teriyaki and salmon barbecue, whatever, I would call them and I would say, if I'm going to be coming there for lunch tomorrow, is there any way I could get a piece of salmon that was just plain? If I get there, can I just ask for it plain? I would make sure, because that's way more important than entertaining a friend in the city. I wouldn't even plan the entertaining in the city. I wouldn't even if I couldn't do if I couldn't keep my food straight. It's just number one. It's number one for me. You know, I don't want to slip and slide. I don't want to be playing around. You know, this is serious, you know. So I would either make some calls, know exactly where you're going, and you're not flexible. You know, if somebody's like, oh, well, why don't we go here? You know, it's just like, well, I'm kind of counting on this place. Have the place picked out, you know? Or I would take my meals in and just focus on what's happening with this company all day long in between meals. Just kind of focus on that, you know, and to just tell this person, like, you know, I know this is really crazy, but I brought my 2 meals for the day because I've just been on a health journey that I'm really excited about, and I'm going to have a cup of tea while you eat lunch there, and I'm going to have a cup of tea while you eat dinner here, and I'm going to find a place to sit myself and eat my meals before or after. Also, depending when you are, sometimes you can eat them inside, depending on what the restaurant, if you ask.
Right.
I've done it. I've done it, and sometimes they say no. They'll say the Board of Health doesn't allow anybody to bring food in, and then other places are like, oh yeah, go ahead. You know, I just say I'm very restricted and highly allergic. You know, and is it okay if I open my meal and have a meal with my family here? And as long as there's other people at the table spending money there, it's, you know, it's usually not a problem, unless somebody's a real stickler. That's what I would do, you know.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I remember in the early days of trying to not drink, you know, I had to have like backup, and you know, I had lots of support, lots of suggestions, and I took it because then that was so important to me.
Right. Yep.
This one, I'm like, a little wavery, you know, just a little. Well, not quite 100.
If you get wavery, then you're just not going to get all the gifts. You're just not going to get, especially that whole peace of mind and freedom. You know, that's just a big part of this. You know,
I could see that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I just want you to get that. I want you to have that. You know, because it's much better than a cookie and a spare rib. You know?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Much.
Yeah, you don't need that.
Much.
Yeah.
No.
And like you said, you could have, if you all you did was go out for lunch, you could have said, you know something, there's nothing here for me. Because if there's chicken with sauce on it, that's not on plan. Okay.
Right.
You couldn't ask for it plain. Maybe you could have asked for it plain, and you could have got it plain, but you didn't ask for it plain, right? But if you just look at the menu and alter it, what would need to be done so that this could be on plan, and then ask for it. And if they say no, then you get a cup of tea, herbal tea, just black tea, and then go home and let those taste buds do a dance on all that delicious food that you have at home, you know. And like you said, like right now you said, well, I don't have enough vegetables. Well, that's not a predicament. It's not a good idea to be in a predicament like that, you know, to just be short on stuff. That's why, you know, even if you load up the freezer with some veggies, even if you don't eat them for like a month because you're eating fresh all the time, but for a moment like that, you could have, you know, you do 12 ounces of veggies now, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. You'd have veggies in the freezer. You'd have 24 ounces to put a lunch and a dinner together, and you could just go for it, you know. So
that reminds me, I have hummus and carrots. I could just like load up on that.
Yep. Just weigh it out, measure it out, and take it with you. You know. If you want to stay on it, you will, because there's a way. Yeah.
Right.
And, you know, well, if you're out for the whole day, it's not like you're going to go out to lunch with your husband or your partner and then, you know, you're coming right back, then you can eat, you know. But if you're out for the
whole day.
you're going to need to take your stuff with you, or you're going to have to know exactly where you're going and make some calls, make sure you can get what you need. I hope you have a great day. I look forward to hearing about it next week.
Thanks, Lulu.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm glad you brought it up, Sue. I was going to say, too, you know, there are grocery stores in the city. I've been there. I've gone into a Whole Foods. I've gotten weighed out, carrots from the salad bar. Even if I did, one time I did that, they were roasted rather than get raw ones, but I was willing to have the raw. So, and what's great about New York City is there's a lot of places to eat where people take their food and then go eat somewhere else. Like you can grab some food for one, and you can grab some food from like a grocery store.
Yeah.
But there are nice bags and there are nice containers, and you really could take your food and do the tea thing like Lulu suggests. It seems kind of funny at first when you're not used to doing this, but anytime I've gone anywhere, I just sit there with a glass of water or coffee or tea, and it's normal now.
Yeah.
And it just, it's not worth like the disruption. I wouldn't, the disruption like you just were saying.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, thanks. So
I am too. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it is a real disruption, and also it's like an immediate pow, to my digestion.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah,
so I can feel it.
You can feel it. Yep. There you go. Yep. You don't need that anymore. So good.
Sandy.
Hi, Sandy.
Okay, so last week was my first week coming into the meeting, and I've been going for 14 days. And just to back up really quick, thank you. I think I told my daughter, I think I've gained and lost over 1,000 pounds, since I was 15, which is 42 years. And she's like, no way, Mom. I'm like, if you calculate how many I've lost, how many I've gained back? Oh, absolutely. Probably. I was calculating when we were on the phone. If I lost 20 a year and gained 20, that's 1,600 pounds. So I'm done with that crazy life. And I threw my husband a surprise retirement party last Saturday. And we were going to serve lunch, and my daughters helped. And we had family come in from California. We live in Utah. We've had people come in from California, Oregon, Idaho, and Ohio, and lots of people from here. And my daughters put together a beautiful, huge lunch. It looked so good. It was a nacho burrito taco bar with salad bar. It was just really, really nice, and a big cake. And I just brought my food, and I was around that food for days, and it was fine. Like, I do think this is freedom. I think that being prepared is critical, right? To have I think that's a great idea what you just said about having frozen vegetables in the freezer. I need to get that done too, because I have so much fresh. But I did find that because we were hosting so many people for 4 days, and I did run low, and I did skip a meal or two, just because I didn't want to blow it. But it was doable, and it was liberating, and I'm thankful. And I'm not a shy person like the last nice lady. She maybe seems really a little bit shy about taking her food. I don't care. I'm not a people pleaser. I just take my food wherever I go. I go to a restaurant. I've been doing that for years. Like, I just sit with my family, and I tell the server, I said, look, I'm on an anti-cancer diet, and it's a medical thing for me. And I'm bringing my food. Sorry, but we're buying 5 other dinners, so they don't care. I mean, it's not their pocketbook. You know what I mean? It's fine. Yeah. And I just want to say, Nicole, I think you got the cutest voice. Oh my gosh, I love your voice. It's so, I don't know. There's only like a handful of people in my life I've heard have a cute voice like you. And you are, really cute voice. And
her little Minnesota accent.
Yeah, and it's just like the softness of her voice, the way she
very
says
gentle.
things.
She's a very gentle, wonderful woman.
Yeah, it's just so unique, and I really like that. And so I was at my oncologist's office yesterday getting my port flush diet. I see him I used to have to see him every 4 to 5 weeks, and now I only have to see him every 4 months, so praise God for that. But I was getting my port flush yesterday, and they always make you get on the scale, and I always 100% of the time turn around with my back to it, because I think it's against the law to get on a scale and being weighed with your clothes on, your shoes on, you've already eaten your breakfast. Okay, look, I'm in the morning, I am butt naked. After I've gone to the bathroom, I'm not going to be taking any weight of my clothes or anything. So I was on there, turn around, and I just said, is it less than last time? That's all I want to know. She goes, yeah, you're down 4 pounds. I'm like, oh no, I'm knowing too early, but anyway, that was an encouragement.
Yeah. Well, good. Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. Good. Thank you so much for sharing with us, Sandy.
Yeah.
It just you making it through all that food with that party and stuff, and just knowing what you want more than those friggin' burritos and cakes and all that stuff. You want what you have more. What you want, what we all have, that you are listening and you're coming here and getting motivated, staying motivated. And you want that more, because nothing is more delicious than what you're doing and how you're feeling.
That's right. Thank you, Lulu. And thank you for like making sense of it and sharing it, because I said last week, all my life I've needed a stop sign. And this is such a sensible stop sign.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're weighing things, that's no big deal, but I'm not calculating all my calories and getting so burnt out on that. It's such a blessing to just weigh and go, yep, there it is.
Yep.
And it is freedom, and I am super thankful. And I think, like, I listen to you, like, it has to be 100%, because so many people, they go, oh, just, let's just go out to dinner one time. Like, it's no big deal. No, it is a big deal, because I'm a food addict.
Yeah.
And like, one thing is, I run up to the edge of the Grand Canyon to see how pretty it is, and I slip right over it, and I'm a goner. That's just me.
Yeah. Yep.
Or in the past, that's been me. Not anymore.
This is really good information for you to realize about yourself.
Yeah.
Until you realize it and you can really put it into words like you just did, is when you can say, like, this is my problem and now this is my solution. My solution is something drastic. It's not just, oh yeah, well, just wing it. I'll just eat more broccoli once in a while, and I'll only have sweets once a week, and I won't go out to dinner every night. You know what I mean? And you start negotiating and all that stuff. Just do it clean. Do it 100% and do it clean, because you're worth 100%.
I agree. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sandy.
Thanks, Sandy. Okay, Cynthia.
Hi, Cynthia.
Hello, everyone. So real quick, I just want to talk again about the frozen vegetables. They are amazing. However, my sister, what do you call it, Nicole?
My sister.
Well,
yep.
My Lulu sister shared with me an article, and we do have to be careful about the frozen vegetables. You are right, Lulu. We have to read the labels.
Yes.
Because there are some places that sell the frozen vegetables that they will have salt, they'll have sugar, they'll have other things. So I know the ones that I purchase are strictly just the vegetables. Yeah. So I just wanted, but it is a wonderful way to stay on plan.
Yep.
And also, Lulu, like what you do, you get some of the prep stuff, like the shredded cabbage that's in the bag, and shredded carrots and things like that. Yep. And like I think you said too, once you start doing this and you kind of get into a groove, then you find out. So I do a lot of things fresh, but then I rely on some of these other things as well, the packaged and the frozen. So I wanted to talk about that. Then real quick, motivation. Oh, I say that Mother Nature gave me a gift for my motivation with my age, because just like all of us, because, I had a weight issue, I was starting to have a lot of health problems. So I was pre-diabetic, I had blood pressure problems, and also 2 years ago, I had a gallbladder attack. And it was because my diet, it was because of my weight. And I probably could have ended up in the emergency room with an emergency gallbladder surgery. But my husband actually got me through it. But the pain was so bad, I could hardly breathe. And I am grateful for that experience, because remembering that pain and knowing that if I don't stay on plan, like you guys always say, I'm buying a ticket back to gallbladder problems. Mm. So that is something that has helped me. So, use that. Use the ill health that you get from being overweight and eating the wrong foods. use that as your motivation to propel you in the right direction. That's what I do.
Yeah, good. Very good advice,
Yeah.
Cynthia. Very good advice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's all I wanted to share. Thank you.
Good. Thanks
Thanks,
so much.
Cynthia.
Thank you.
Okay, Kathy, we'll wrap up with you.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi. I have 2 motivators and 1 problem. The one motivator is Cynthia, who is my sister.
Oh, nice.
She is fantastic.
Oh, lovely.
She keeps me on that train, and she won't let me get off. She just accelerates when it starts to stop. And she said, no, we're not doing that.
Nice. You got a good
she's
one.
She's been great.
Oh,
And the other
lovely.
one is, I'm only 4 weeks in this. I've had 3 M&Ms in 4 weeks. I didn't tell Cynthia that. But that was not bad at all. But my big motivator is when I started 4 weeks ago, my blood pressure was 210/98. Today, it's 165/78.
Wow.
That's major.
Yeah.
It never came down. Never came down.
Well,
until I started eating this way.
Yep.
And I think that's to 165/78. I think that's major. Right now, I feel very motivated that I'm making some kind of progress, though.
Good.
That
Yes,
that
absolutely.
it's coming down, and I feel better. I'm not so swollen.
Right.
I'm not puffed up like I was.
Yeah, good.
This is fat.
Good. I'm glad you're feeling better. Very good.
Much better.
Good. And how about no M&Ms this week? Can that be a goal? Can that be a goal? We don't do M&Ms.
I only had 3.
No, 3. We don't do 1. I don't even smell them. Never mind eat them. Don't even smell them.
And Cynthia's listening to you.
Yeah. Cynthia, no M&Ms. You're going to be in the caboose in the train. You don't want to be in the caboose. You want to be in the driver's seat.